Here we are with 6.8, complex fractions. Our objective is that students will be able to simplify complex fractions. Yes, I know this is all of your favorite topics of fractions. Oh, come on, guys. I am being sarcastic. Yes, I know how much you love fractions. So let's start. Complex fractions are simply defined as fractions that have other fractions within the numerator or denominator. So something crazy like this. Now what we need to do is to simplify these fractions means to remove these minor fractions and then eliminate any common factors. The key is and always is to multiply the numerator, multiply by the number 1 in ways that is simplify the fraction. What do I mean? So first thing I want to do, consider this complex fraction. There's a fraction on top of a fraction. You can put this in your calculator, just like this, and get an answer. So let's see how this has worked first. It says, what is the least common denominator amongst the 3 fractions? So the denominators here are going to be 9, 18, and 3. Now on the calculator you do not G, we're not finding for greatest, we're finding now, we're doing LCD, least common denominator. I'm going to do the first 2 number, which is 9 and 18. This is going to give me 18, and then I want to make sure it works for the last one, so I'm going to do LCD 18 comma 3, and it's going to give me 18, and that's my final answer. Remember, LCD this time, least common denominator. So what I want to do now, it says multiply the numerator and denominator of the major fraction by your answer in A. So I want to take this 18 and multiply it by 1 over 9 plus 1 over 18, and do the same thing at the bottom, 18, 1 over 3. Now I want to distribute this, so I'm going to distribute this over. On your calculator you're going to do 18 times 1 over 9. You should get 2 plus, and then you would do 18 times 1 over 18. You will get 1. Do this bottom works out to be a 6. This is 3 over 6, or we all know 3 over 6 is 1/2. That was a piece of cake. Why is this acceptable to perform the operation? So why is this acceptable? Because if I multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, it is multiplying, it is like I'm multiplying by 1, because 18 on the top and 18 on the bottom is 18 divided by 18 is 1. Now here we go with, say, by multiplying the major fraction by the number 1 by using the least common denominator, which we found, we always eliminate the minor factors, turning them into integer expressions. So the most important thing that you have to do is find the common denominator. So I want you to challenge yourself, guys. Come on, you're juniors now. Challenge yourself to go and pause this video without cheating and try to solve A. It's identical to what we just did up here. Alrighty, so you should have gotten the least common denominator as 10, and then I multiplied 10 by everything. So distribute this over. You should have gotten 5 take away 1, and then you distribute this. You got 4 over 4, which is 1. Now number 2 is not as easy. Let's see, so what is my LCD? My least common denominator is of 3 and an x would be 3x, because 3 and 3 they're multiples and I need an x. So 3x goes into 2 over 3 plus 2 over x over 3x, 5 over 3 plus 5 over x. Now how do I work this out? Distribute this. So I want to show you how I normally do this without the calculator. It's 3x and then it's a 2 over 3. This 3 canceled this 3, and then I'm left with a 2x. What if I had a 3x and 2 over x? The x's are canceled, so I'm left with plus 6. Same goes for the bottom. For the first one, I'm going to cancel the 3 and I'm left with 5x. Cancel the x and I'm left with 15. See how easy that was without the calculator? And then now what I want to do is to go ahead and simplify this. They have a 2 in common, so I'm left with x plus 3. And then this have a 5 in common. I'm also left with an x plus 3. Knowing from previous lesson, we can cancel the x plus 3 once one is in the numerator and one is in the denominator. And then my final answer would be 2 over 5. Do you want to challenge yourself or do you want us to work together with C? Okay, let's work together. So here, what's the LCD, least common denominator? So let's try to see. The LCD, always do the numbers. So I'm going to do on the calculator LCD of 8, 4, which will give me 8. Then I want to do LCD of, I'm going to take these two numbers out that I use already. So I'm going to do 8, 2, which will give me 8. I use the 2 out. Then I want to find the LCD of 8, 4, which is 8. Remember, I have to do this step by step with 2 numbers each because the calculator does not read 4 numbers. I have 4 different denominators, 4 denominators. I didn't have to do this last step because if you notice, I already worked with 4, so I could have stopped there and said that was my final answer. Now the LCD is 8, but notice some of them have an x, so I have to put the 8x in. And again, this becomes 8x multiplied by everything over 8x multiplied by the bottom part of it. So 8's cancel and I'm left with 3x on the top. The x cancels. We can cancel the x. Whoa. We can cancel this x with this x. And then 4 goes into 8 twice. And then this would be a plus 2. This here now, let's see, the x cancels off. The 2 goes into 8 4 times. This 4 times 7 is 28. Plus, we'll do this again. This becomes 6x. If you notice, this have nothing in common. So this actually, that's it. My final answer. There you go. Moving along. Simplify each of the following complex fractions. So how about you pause this and try A. We'll do B together and then B and C together. Alrighty, now that you tried it on your own, did you get x plus 2 over 3? If not, you need to review the step by step. Your LCD should have been 2x square. Where's my square? And multiply everything by 2x squared and you should be able to simplify these. This is a difference of square where you take the square root, and then these have a 3 in common. Now let's look at B. My LCD is going to be 5x squared, the highest one, and then there are 5's. So 5x squared, and I want to go in, it has to be 2 over 5 minus 2 over x. 5x squared at the bottom, and I rewrite that. This is simple. The 5's are canceled out, so I'm left with 2x squared minus 10x. So remember, this 10x is coming from 5x squared into 2x. This x cancel with 1x, and then I'm left with 5 times 2, which is 10. What's left in the bottom now? X take away 5. Now look in the top. These have a 2 in common and an x. X take away 5 is left over. And remember, because we can cancel this off, my final answer is 2x. Alrighty? C looks a little complicated. What is my LCD? It's 12x. So what am I going to do? Multiply everything by 12x, just like this. And then I want to go ahead and simplify. So the 12s are canceled. You're left with an x times an x, which is x squared. And the 6 goes into 12 twice, so it's 2x times 1 is 2x. The x are canceled. 12 times 2 is 24. Same thing I do at the bottom. The 12 cancel, x squared. And then that works out to be 16. I factor these down. This is my A, this is my B, and this is my C. X method. I left with x plus 6 and x minus 4. These are canceled. They both have an x minus 4 in common. Remember, this bottom is a difference of square where you take the square root of that. And since that's canceled, your final answer will be x plus 6 and x plus 4. Alrighty, it says if the denominators of the minor fraction becomes more complex, be sure to factor them first and then do what we did with addition and subtraction in lesson 6.7. Alright, so just a hint, this is where as difficult as it will get. So I need to break these down. The top is good, so I'm just going to rewrite that. 4 over x plus 2 plus 2, oops, not 12, but 2. Where are we? Plus 2 over x plus 4. All of this is over what? 12 can be, the top is good. I need to make that quadratic at the bottom disappear. This now is my A, my B, my C, and X method. If we were to do the X method, you would have gotten X minus 4 and X plus 2. Now, this is where it gets a little complicated. Look at my factors. At the top, there's an x plus 2 and then an x plus 4. At the bottom, it's an x plus 2 and x plus 4. So what happens now is where my LCD becomes x plus 2 and x minus 4. So what I'm going to do is multiply the top here by x plus 2 and x minus 4, and then I'm going to do that to the bottom. This becomes x minus 4 and x plus 2. It doesn't matter the order I write it. So how can I cancel this off? For the first one, the x plus 2's are canceled, so I'm left with 4 parentheses x minus 4 plus, in the second one now, the 4's are canceled, so I'm left with 2 and the x plus 2 over, these are all canceled, so I'm left with 12x minus 24 because the 4's cancel, the 2 cancel. Now this looks so much nicer to work with, so just distribute. This becomes 4x minus 16 plus 2x plus 4 over 12x minus 24. Then I'm going to simplify this. This becomes 6x minus 12. 6x minus 12 because negative 16 plus 4 is a negative 12. And this stays like this. Now let's simplify this. I have a 6 in common, so it's x minus 2 because I need to distribute this. They have a 6 in common. The bottom has a 12 in common, which also gives me x minus 2. Bam! These can cancel off. And what am I left with? I'm left with 6 over 12, which is the same thing as 1/2. All of that work, miss, for just 1/2 as the answer? Yep, you got it. Now one more together, and then you're off on your own. So, get rid of my quadratic. That's like my first thing I need to think about. So, I rewrite this as x plus 6 minus 1 over x plus 2. Everything is going to be an x squared minus 4 in the top. The bottom, my A is 1, my B is 8, and my C is 12. Factor that out, I get x plus 6 and x plus 2. Bam, look at this. I see there's an x plus 6 and an x plus 2. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to multiply this by x plus 2 and x plus 6. So that means my LCD is actually x plus 6 and x plus 2. So I'm going to multiply all of this, top and bottom, x plus 6 and x plus 2. Let's do this to simplify to make a better, way better graph thing. My 6's are canceled, so I have x, and x plus 2 is left over. Take away. Now my 2's are canceled, and I have 1 and x plus 6. The bottom, everything is canceled. X squared minus 4. Let's simplify this. 2x squared plus 2x minus 6 over x squared minus 4. All I did was combine like terms. X squared minus x minus 6 is over 2x squared minus 4. Now, go over here. I can simplify the top. Remember the top, this is my A, my B, and my C. So I can simplify that to actually pretty cool, x plus 3 and x minus 2. The bottom, this is a difference of squares, so I take the square root of that. This is x plus 2 and x minus 2. Look at this. My minus 2's cancel, x minus 2 each, and I'm left with x plus 3 over x plus 2. And there you go. That's my final answer. Alrighty, I know it's getting to the end and it's getting a little difficult, but stay with me. Guess what? Practice makes perfect, and at the end of this, when you see that A or that B on your report card, you're going to know that, you know what? All of this hard work and such long problems were so worth this grade. Good luck. See me if you have any questions. See ya.